Thank you for joining us on part 2 of our 10 Candles game. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our first episode to get the full story. Our small band of survivors are in dire straits after surviving for days, being hunted by them.
The world is growing ever darker. The light of hope slowly dwindling.
Nobody's coming to save us, any of us. So we need to just do this ourselves.
Trapped between a rock and a hard place, our team needs to hold their ground.
Are we safe here? Nowhere in this forest is safe, but can we rest here?
We're not supposed to be here.
But quick, we gotta get out of here before they get here. They're so close.
They have reached the door.
But perhaps the only thing worse than them is themselves.
How did you get here?
When it all comes down to it, you'll light a man on fire just to see him burn.
Are you fucking kidding me? She raises the hatchet.
We have 7 candles that are lit, and the world is dark. What do you do?
My first concern is getting Sarah to be able to breathe again.
Patrick starts climbing and says to Vanessa, pass her up to me, I'll see if I can get her up on the next floor.
Yeah, she's gonna try and do that, for sure.
Jillian shouts as Patrick is offering to do this. Don't touch him, he has one of those spiders on him.
I don't know what you mean, but I'm just trying to save Sarah.
You saw that spider grow in your pocket just as much as I did.
Who do I believe?
I've been seeing things all night you've been yelling at me for. So maybe you're the one seeing things. Do you think about that, huh?
Vanessa, listen to me. He ate the mushroom, not me. Okay?
Wow, they both seem suspicious as all business. I'm gonna try and find an alternative. I'm not gonna pass it to either of them. And maybe there's a little bit of like selfishness and frustration in that as well. But I think that Vanessa is going to try and drag her onto something else.
Okay. There are 7 candles lit. Please roll for me 7 dice.
With pleasure.
Good looking out, Vanessa.
The world
is
so dark.
What do you got? What do you got that you can maybe burn? That was 2
roll
ones.
No successes.
I could stop being generous.
You are currently generous. Would you like to burn from you the generosity in your heart to re-roll those ones?
This is the last time. So yes, I would. I think that by means of generosity, Vanessa is perhaps going to, suffer a very mild injury in helping Sarah out of this fluid and getting her onto like a platform or similar. I think maybe there's like some sharp metal, and that's just gonna slice her hand, so she has a scar on her other hand now as well. Well, assuming that it ever heals. And I will try and re-roll.
You grab a hold of her. Re-roll those 2 ones. 2 dice.
I tried.
You try, Vanessa, and that is more than most would do. At this moment, you're struggling. You know that the only reason she's even in here is because of you. But you also know the only way that she has out is you. As you look at Patrick and you look at Jillian, and they fill you with such confusion. You don't know what's going on. You can't trust them, but you know that you can trust yourself, and you know that you have the ability to save Sarah. You just need to find a way out. You just need to find a way out, and you start scurrying through that water, swimming, pulling yourself in her, and it's so thick, it's tiring, it's exhausting. But you feel things under your feet. You bang your knee into something, and then you see it hanging from the ceiling, a rusted pipe. It looks so sharp, but you grab it in hopes of pulling the two of you out. And as your hand slips across the pipe, you feel it buckle beneath you. You feel the rusted metal crack and shatter beneath your grip as it slices into your hand. Blood begins to spill, and you both fall again into this gray goo. The world is dark. The candle is extinguished. Vanessa, there are 6 candles. And there are 6 truths. You are the first to share one.
Fueled by this injury, Vanessa feels a sudden anger, a deep rage, but it gives her strength. And she uses that strength in a burst of energy to propel herself upwards and leap out of the fluid with Sarah.
You are able to, against all odds, get yourself and Sarah out of this. It really did come down to you.
Doesn't it always?
Doesn't it always? Patrick, what is your truth?
The door breaks down.
You stole mine from my head.
And mine.
The door breaks down. It's no longer stuck.
You see, good news.
Good news. Jillian, what is your truth?
A light appears in the basement.
A light appears in the basement. The door breaks down. That is true. And behind it comes not a creature, not a monster, but a man wearing a red parka. He shoulders it open and falls onto the other side. In one hand, he's clutching a shotgun. That is my truth. Sarah.
Sarah isn't breathing because she doesn't need to.
Sarah no longer needs to breathe.
Damn.
Vanessa, there are 6 candles, and you now share with us the 6th truth.
Vanessa's eyes have changed color. Where once they were green, now they are red.
Nice.
Vanessa's eyes are now red. 6 candles, 6 truths. But most importantly, the truth that is shared is that the world is dark. You hear that howl again, so close, so uncomfortably close, as the man in the red parka looks up. He's unshaven, he's unkempt. You can see he has dirt, that red, black dirt in the creases of his face. He gives you a growling smile, a snarl, really, his teeth caked in muck.
Quick! Get out of here! No time!
As he turns and looks back towards the door.
Who said that?
Alright, he can't even.
Who said that? Who the hell are ya? He calls from the hole. And he kind of pokes his head a little bit above the floorboards as he's standing on this dresser. Illuminated, apparently. Was the light on, or there's just is a light?
There is, Patrick, as you are down there still.
A will-o-wisp?
There is an orb of light. It's about the size of a basketball, maybe slightly larger, that begins to glow and move through the fluid.
No.
Upwards, slowly moving towards you.
Remembering the nimbus that was surrounding the house when he first saw it, he's going to reach his hand out to this orb and say, "No, I think we're supposed to be here. I think this is it."
While while Patrick is having this revelation, I think Vanessa is just, gently shaking Sarah. She's gone through all of this and she's still furious. The shakes perhaps are gentle in her expectation, but the actual effect is a lot more forceful, something that might jolt her awake. And, her voice is just a little bit more gruff as well. Sarah, come on!
Roll for me 6 dice, please.
Now you've done it.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that can happen? Let's find out together.
It ain't that.
2 successes and no fails. You shake her, you slap her, perhaps slightly more indelicately than you had expected, and Sarah's eyes do in fact open. Sarah, you see Vanessa looking down at you, her eyes pinpricks of red light. Angry.
What did I do?
It's okay. It's okay. You're safe. We need to go.
Why are your eyes red?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. We don't have time for this. We need to go. And I'll kind of look at Jillian and the strange man who's just shown up, but maybe seems more trustworthy than my companions at this point.
Hey.
He's maybe someone who can get me the hell out of here.
Sarah looks over and sees this man for the first time. Like, he has a gun. Do you have food?
Huh? Yeah, we have food. But quick, we gotta get out of here before they get here. They're so close.
Okay, let's go. And Sarah will grab Vanessa's hand and start dragging her towards the man with the shotgun.
Jillian, you're standing there. You have the best view of what's going on as you see Patrick in the hole below. He's extending his hand towards this glowing orb of light beneath the fluid, saying, "Maybe we should stay." As Vanessa and Sarah drags Vanessa towards the door, towards this stranger. What do you do?
Jillian lowers herself to the edge of where the floorboards have collapsed in, and extends an arm to Sarah and looks at Patrick and says, "If you don't get yourself out of here, I'm not making any special moves to remove you myself. You're either coming of your own volition, or you're dying."
You all begin to clamber for the front door as the man leads you towards it. Patrick, you watch as the last friendly face. Was she very friendly in the end? Looks down at you and disappears. You reach your hand toward that nimbus of light, waiting for it, inviting it. And it invites you to roll 6 dice.
You got this, Patrick.
You can do it.
Oh no.
Ooh.
No
That is
successes.
1 failure, no 6s.
You have Quarrelsome currently on the top of your stack.
Yes. Okay.
If you would like to, otherwise,
The odds are poor. But
exceptionally poor.
don't tell me the odds. But I'm going to do it for the drama.
For the drama.
How cool will it be if it happens?
Yeah. So hearing Jillian's words echo around in his head, something like, I'll leave you to die, he'll shout out as he's reaching for this orb. He'll say, yeah, I've seen how you treat people. I've seen you leave people to die. You got some sick, twisted, heroic kind of thing going for you, don't you? But when it all comes down to it, you'll light a man on fire just to see him burn, won't you? And I'm going to burn Quarrelsome for 1 dice.
Oof. Oof.
And fail.
Oh.
No!
Oh.
No, it was such a good fucking. Oh! No.
As
Dice
you
gods are cruel.
As you reach for that light, Patrick, you know that you're right. The things that you said. But there's still a pang, a sense of guilt, maybe shame in that moment, as that illuminated orb goes dark. This much is true, the world is dark. There are 5 candles and 5 truths. Patrick O'Toole, perhaps the biggest one of all.
What did you say?
Wow.
Share with us your first truth.
Well, you know what I'm going to do back, huh? This stranger has an empty shotgun, and he's using it
Rude.
just as an intimidation tactic.
This stranger has an empty shotgun. Jillian, what is your truth?
They have reached the door.
Oh.
Oh, yes, they have.
You are a monster.
We still have like 4 or 5 candles left. Calm down.
Listen.
It's thin.
It's coming. Don't worry.
It's
It's gonna
endgame.
happen.
It's been
No. This is the climax, and then trust me, it'll be okay.
I'll trust you to throw me in another hole if you see fit.
Gladly.
You'll have 5 candles of aftercare. 5 candles and 5 truths. The stranger has an empty shotgun, and they have reached the door. Which is an interesting one, because that was going to be mine.
Yes.
Take that.
Patrick is no longer in the basement.
May I ask where Patrick is?
No.
Not.
No, you may not.
You may roll 5 dice, potentially at some point in time, to resolve that.
I think I'll just stay in purgatory. Thank you very much.
Sarah, what is your truth?
They cannot touch the oobleck.
They cannot touch the gray fluid. And Vanessa, you have our 5th and final truth.
Such a juicy responsibility. I would like to say that they are not what was making that howling noise.
As they have no faces, they were not what was making that howling noise.
He had to bring up the faces thing.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Must have been something else.
The world is growing ever darker. The light of hope slowly dwindling. And yet each of you has the opportunity to fight and continue on against something in these dark woods. Something beyond your understanding for now. But just maybe there will be long enough. Maybe you can solve this and get away somehow. As the man steps out the door ahead of you, he turns back and says, "Quick, hurry, we have a camp nearby." As you see the spindly, long fingers reach down and grab him by his face. and he disappears upwards, pulled out of view by something clinging to the outside of the house. Something whose feet has never touched the earth.
Sarah wants to try to grab his foot.
Sarah launches forward. You're there. You reach and grab for him, and you roll 5 dice.
I do roll 5 dice.
The man in the red parka. 1 6, 1 6, and 2 1s. You grab him by his leg. What happens?
She grabs him, and she tries to pull him down. But she's not really strong enough to pull.
Yeah? This man who might be your very salvation. She's lifted up off her feet, but only briefly, before they both come tumbling back to the world, and you hear the sound of something skittering away.
Quick, we gotta hurry, they're so close.
Wait, Sarah, what happened? I thought this guy was dead.
Let's just go.
Jillian, is this man... Is his leg busted?
It looks... No, you don't see like a compound fracture or anything like that. But he is certainly heavily limping.
Yeah, Jillian helps him stabilize and loops an arm under his armpit and hoists him in a form of support. Come on, we don't have time for this.
Quick.
He's clutching his shotgun by the receiver. He kind of has it gripped in one hand as you both begin to hobble into the darkness. Vanessa's light, the only beam tearing through as you see these creatures, these faceless, many-legged, massive creatures leap in the shadows just beyond your vision. You can feel them. You know there are dozens, maybe hundreds of them, silently watching as howls continue. And you hear a call and response between them as they circle and get ever closer. And the man points down a trail that you hadn't seen before. And he goes, "Quick, this way, quick!"
Oh, we are running for that trail.
Yeah, we are.
You are running for that trail.
Patrick will
Liliana,
catch up or not.
Or
Liliana,
not.
I would like to remind you that your moment of hope was to find a road.
My goodness, a trail is a kind of road.
Is a kind of road. And it is currently your card that is on top. You have an opportunity here, if you would like, to roll for your moment of hope.
That sounds like a great idea.
Alright. Please roll for me 3d6.
Well, rude.
Unfortunately, you did not succeed. It's kind of like a road, but it's not quite... It doesn't give you what you need right now as you continue to hobble and make your way ever onward with him. Up ahead, as you dive and dash, you go into a small gully and then scramble up another side. The man's leg hurts him so much as you're going through here, but he's managing to grit and hold his tongue. He's not screaming, he's just barking where to go next as you hear these creatures get ever closer, these howling ones, closing the distance between them and yourselves. Ahead of you, you see a small fire, but it might be too far away for you to reach in time before these things are upon you. What do you do?
I mean, that fire is pretty special. We would love a fire.
Give me the fire. Give me the fire.
I think, are we gonna make a daring break for it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Who would like to roll? Who is leading the charge?
Is it me and the boy?
Yeah, you haven't rolled in a minute.
Yeah, go for it.
Well,
Give us a roll, Jillian. 3 dice. 3 dice. That could change the fate.
Whoa, killed it.
Damn.
And you knocked it
what
out
am
of the park
I?
with 2 sixes. With
A
2
hero?
sixes and their ones.
Did somebody just say hero?
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
You found a hero. As Jillian, freed from the yoke of responsibility for Patrick, sorry, grabs the man and begins to charge forward, carrying him, dragging him as everybody surges forward towards this fire. You see there are other people there waiting for you, hollering as you get ever closer. Quark! Hurry! It's safe here! Just get here! As you charge forward. The howlings grow closer. You hear the snuffling growls of beasts. Some terrible, awful creature. As you manage to break into the edge of the fire, you drag, Jillian, you drag this man across the finish line, just barely getting into the nimbus of the firelight before the bushes crash, quiver, and shake. You never see what was making the growls, but you feel the hot breath as it huffs, a feeling of disdain and anger towards you for taking its quarry away. But you've made it. You are all safely in a circle of light and a nimbus aglow. And there, sitting at the fire's edge, is Patrick O'Toole, warming his hands.
I envision everybody else kind of like breathing fast, trying to get their breath after that sprint. And Sarah is standing there, not breathing at all, as she looks at Patrick. You can't be here. How are you here?
Well, while you're all debating whether to run, to hide, or to, I don't know, piss yourselves, well, I just took off. Simple as that.
How? But how did you get here?
Well, I'm a speedy bugger when it comes to it.
I think Vanessa is just like looking at him in disbelief, knowing damn well that she can run faster. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
Sarah's
matter. He's
standing there
okay.
like, this is impossible. This is not Patrick.
Can I do a flashback?
Sure.
So I was thinking of revealing this, and then you just did that. So my flashback is they all start taking off for the trail, and Patrick drops down out of the trees, and he starts to kind of walk towards them, and he's kind of holding his arms out, almost in a kind of beatific pose. And then he starts to slowly pick up his pace, and suddenly he's sprinting, and he can't seem to get any faster without more limbs. That's it. So he starts using his hands and his legs to sprint and run, and he's circumnavigating these trees as the group just passes by as he leaves them in the dust. And it's still not fast enough. And he starts to swing from tree to tree until he finds this fire that he can warm himself at. Maybe cook up some nice mushrooms or something. And that's where we find ourselves.
That is where you find yourselves.
Sarah is unconvinced that this is Patrick, her traveling companion. And she walks over and puts her hands on his face. Her gooey, gray liquid covered hands.
Gray fluid, technically.
You watched as one of these creatures recoiled. You know that it feared you, Sarah. That feeling of power. And you stand resolute, uncowering for Patrick as you reach forward and you feel warm flesh beneath your hands. And Patrick, you feel kind of sticky now as Sarah cradles your face between her hands.
Listen, I know you just went through a rather traumatic experience, but now's no time for a kiss. I missed you as well, but please, we need to eat, don't we?
Sarah slaps him.
Yeah, Jillian is like furious behind Sarah. Are you fucking kidding me? She raises the like hatchet. You think that you can just show up here and think that we're gonna believe that you're not one of them now? How did you get here first? How?
Well, I don't know what you mean. Maybe I'm just faster.
You were in the basement.
No, I wasn't. I took off, like he said. I saw you all wrestling around with him out front, trying to save him from, them. And I took off. He said run. I took off.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Vanessa will round on this stranger that we've had with us for a little bit now, and just kind of be like, thank you, who are you?
My name's DB. Hi.
DB Cooper?
Thank you. Is that what Sarah says?
Yeah.
No, not DB Cooper.
She's a little insane right now.
No. DB. Thank you, but I'm sorry. I tried to warn you before, but there's just you didn't seem like you were one of them. But you can't be sure, Sometimes your eyes they can deceive you out here. I'm sorry. Are you? You're all real, right?
Yeah, we're real. Do you have any food?
Not breathing, Sarah. Please feed me.
Yeah, I gathered up some pine cones and acorns and some roots. I have a bit of turmeric that I found and some wild greens. And I think he points, there's some Jerusalem artichokes over there.
Are we safe here? Nowhere in this forest is safe, but can we rest here?
I haven't had a problem here. He taps the ground. He looks around, and then he looks over his shoulder back towards the darkness. But everywhere out there is where they are. How long are you here to rescue me? Are you the?
We just got lost. We're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, with tears in her eyes. We thought you were rescuing us.
I think when Sarah hears Vanessa kind of lose that little bit of faith and hope, she kind of loses whatever she had that was keeping her going, and she just crumples to a heap and just sobs.
Oh no, baby. It's okay, they can cry together.
Yay, trauma!
DB looks over towards Jillian as these two start crying, and Patrick is sitting there holding a DFX smile.
Cool
I
as a
assume.
cucumber.
cool as a cucumber.
It's all going according to plan.
Okay. Okay. I've got enough wood for a couple days here. But that's... I mean, I woke up with the fire out once and they didn't come much closer. But if you're not here to get me out... I don't... How long have you been here?
Longer than I think we know.
Okay. Okay. He drags himself over to the fire and tosses another stick in and pokes at it. Okay. Okay. He hugs the shotgun to himself and rolls onto his side, looking at the fire. Okay. Okay. And he just keeps quietly saying okay as wetless tears begin to fall.
Listen, DB. Jillian lowers the hatchet. Crying isn't gonna help right now. Okay? I know you've been through a lot. We all have. But we need to make a plan. And having a mental breakdown isn't gonna fucking help that. She stands and looks at the two crying on the floor. You two need to sort it out as well. Nobody's coming to save us. Any of us. So we need to just do this ourselves. How many shells have you got in that shotgun? She turns to the guy.
None.
Jillian sighs.
Sarah hears this through her sobs. She says, I bought a kit because I've never been camping before, and they said it had a lot of stuff in it. And, like, she kind of wipes away some tears, leaving sticky goop on her face, as she starts digging through her bag and rolls 5 dice.
3 dice. She rolls 3 dice.
3 dice, you're right.
Looking for a shotgun shell in her gear. And
Man,
you
I
know,
kind of wanted to roll for patient as she patiently digs through all her shit.
oh, but you don't need to.
I know. Which is good. I know it's good.
Bought some camping supplies. Maybe they gave me high explosive ammunition.
Maybe they put a shotgun shell in there.
Wouldn't you fucking believe it? They did.
Well, that's a kind of survival tool.
It is.
They didn't sell her the gun, but they sold her the
In
ammo.
these woods?
There is, in fact, a single slug shotgun shell.
She doesn't know what she's looking for. She holds it up. Is this what you need?
Yes. Yes.
Here you go. And she holds it out, pinched between 2 fingers, like she doesn't want to be anywhere near it.
He takes it from you. This will fit. I think it was a flare round. This is amazing. It's a 12 gauge flare. Oh my god, maybe you were sent to save me. Maybe you're angels.
Jillian just rolls her eyes.
He pulls himself up onto his knees. Are you angels? And he looks for perhaps too long in the direction of Patrick O'Toole.
No.
And Patrick says, oh, what are you waiting for? Shoot it. I'm sure someone will find us.
He racks the shotgun. Patrick, I would like you to roll 3 dice, please. As he pulls the trigger.
Beautiful. I am ready for my truth. Because apparently I'm the villain now. Yeah!
Yeah, you
That
are.
is all failures. And I have nothing else to burn. Oh wait, there's no ones anyway, so never mind.
You may use your brink if you want.
My brink?
Oh, are you already there?
No, I'd like to narrate this if you don't mind.
If you don't mind, says.
I'm strapped in and ready for this.
Aren't we all?
Hold on to your butts.
He shakily loads it into his gun and racks it and points it skyward and kind of thinks, where's the best way to... And he does like a 360 to try and think, like, where should I angle this at least? And he eventually finds what he thinks might be right and pulls the trigger. And an eruption of red comes out of the barrel. And there's a little bit of hope in everyone's hearts as they may get rescued. But the night is dark. And my truth is that we are being found, but it is by them.
There are 4 candles and 4 truths. Patrick has shared his first truth. That this flare, this red light that now tears through the night sky, will let them find you. Jillian, what is your truth?
Only a select few of them are drawn to the light.
Only a few of them are drawn to the light.
Like a specific select few of them.
Yeah. There's
Mutation.
something about them. Something about only some of them is drawn to this light.
Something about these.
Yes. For my truth, you didn't recognize him at first, but DB looks exactly like Robert.
Ooh. Thanks, I hate it.
Sarah, you have our 4th and final truth. For the night is dark, and not everyone gets to help stave it off.
Or make it worse.
Or make it worse.
Sarah is one of them.
Sarah is one of them. This is the world as it is now. For this world is so dark. As you cling to this firelight, the flare erupts. That glimmer of hope within you as red tears across the sky, and you see the glow now within the trees. And you see that they are within the trees, faceless, many-legged, as they hover above you, gazing down with their sightless eyes, with their forms that are without definition. And you realize you are exactly where they want you. The world is dark. What do you do?
Patrick turns to DB, who has been coined as Dead Boy, and he says, well, that was great. Thank you for that. And then he pushes him into the fire.
Not Robert!
Patrick, roll for me, please. 4 dice.
Yes, sir.
as you grab DB and shove him into the flames.
Oh, a success, but
A
2 ones.
success, but at what cost? As you grab him and shove him, and he does, he falls backwards, his red parka sizzling and melting as he hits into the flames, and for a brief moment everything goes dark before his body erupts in fire and you hear his screams.
Well, I see we've reached that point of the evening. I think Vanessa is going to scream because everything is awful. Let's see. They are surrounding us. This guy just got burnt by her friend who's clearly gone insane. Who knows what's about to happen with Jillian? That ironically may be the one person who has their shit together.
Ironically.
I think she is going to run.
Into the darkness.
Classic horror movie move.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens.
You run.
For the drama.
Do you have a direction in mind, or are you simply trying to get away from the screams of this man who's now rolling in ashes, his body alight? Patrick standing there, staring above his work.
I think she just feels the need to get away from these crazy people. And I think she calls out to Sarah to run with her. Maybe she even tries to take her hand and run. Because surely Sarah is fine.
Grab Sarah's hand and pull. Roll 2 dice.
Wow.
Vanessa.
Snake eyes, baby.
Damn.
That is kind of what I wanted to happen.
2 ones. You find yourself struggling. You may use your brink if you would like to re-roll both of those dice, or you may let the world grow a little darker.
Oh, that's such a tempting decision. I think I'm gonna use it. Yeah, why not? I've never done this before. I would like to invoke my brink.
Perfect. Tell me how this memory, this act, fills Vanessa. How does it drive her in this moment?
So Vanessa was a generous person who did a lot of work, gave up a lot of her own time for the benefit of others, including charitable causes. In this moment, however, at her most dire, when everything seems to have gone to hell, I think she's going to remember that part of her that still looks out for herself. That part of her that at one point said, you know what, I should get mine. And kept some of the better donations from a drive that she did for herself. I think that selfishness is going to come through now and empower her to maybe just leave Sarah and run.
That's right.
Herself.
As her hand lets go of Sarah, she drives off into the darkness. She runs. Roll those 2 again. Roll those 2 dice. Perhaps there is light out there for Vanessa.
No. Alas, there is not.
Alas, there is not. The world is dark. And for Vanessa, in that moment, she looks back. She grabs Sarah's hand and she sees Sarah unmoving, or maybe just too slow. She'll be the difference between her getting away or not, and she knows this as Vanessa leaves her and tears off into the darkness. She does it. She gets past them. She gets past that ring of those creatures, and the light dwindles behind her. She runs, and she runs, and she runs until her lungs are bursting. Everything looks the same, and the forest has gone quiet around her. Finally, she can run no longer. She leans over, hands on her knees as she pants and drags breath into her burning throat. And she hears the growl and the howl as the beasts descend upon her and tear her limb from limb. And Vanessa's light goes out. And her story ends.
Nighty-night, Vanessa.
Nighty-night, Vanessa. For the world is dark. There are yet 3 candles and 3 lights. Perhaps there is still a chance here for someone. Patrick, what is your truth?
It's a shame you killed her, because I had an idea. But I'll pivot a little bit and say I've been pretty mean so far. So let's throw a bone. It was hard to hear over the crackling fire and the terror surrounding the camp, but there is a burbling brook just over yonder.
There is a water source nearby. Jillian, you hold our second truth.
There is another howl extremely close by.
There is another howl extremely close by. 3 candles and 3 truths. And I hold the final truth this time. What Sarah is and what Patrick are may not coexist.
Ooh.
Are we saying rap battle?
Rap battle, rap battle.
Absolutely not.
I want it. Oh, hear me out. Better. Dance battle?
Dance off, bro.
The world is dark. You hear the faraway howls. And you know in your bones what that means for your friend. But you have no time to consider that as the screams of the man end and he falls unconscious or dead. And then the howl of one of those monsters, one of those growling beasts, can be heard so close by. What do you do?
Jillian looks at Sarah, and then looks at Patrick, and then looks back at Sarah, and picks up the shotgun off the floor. Sarah, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I don't trust him, and I don't know if I can trust you. I'm going to that brook. That water source. I'm going there. And if there is anything left of you, you'll come with me.
Sarah looks at Patrick and knows that he will be the death of her if he catches her alone. And so she stays with Jillian and goes to the water.
As you two walk off, probably kind of backing up towards the brook, you see Patrick just smile and start moving towards the closest tree. And he starts climbing unnaturally
Bleh.
into the canopy above.
You watch as the shapes, the dozens of shapes up above, part, welcoming him. Jillian, Sarah, you step away from the light, backing into the darkness. Jillian, you were soaked in that fluid. Your headlamp long since gone and discarded. You can hear the sound of the water nearby, and you hear growls getting closer as you move through the darkness. Jillian, please roll 3 dice for me.
No,
Uh-oh.
the one time I fail a roll. Oh dear.
Yeah, you have everything left.
Oh dear.
No ones.
Yeah.
This is a running game.
Now it's a speed run.
For the world is dark, and it becomes much darker as the fire dies, as the man who helped you, the one who looked like Robert, your friend, as he ceases. The monsters above you now are cloaked in darkness, and the growl, the howl gets closer. You hear the brushes snapping and twigs breaking as the two of you step and stumble into the brook, but you have no light. It is pitch black and all darkness. Jillian, there are 2 candles. There are 2 truths. What is your truth?
Jillian. No, do you know what? No. Something on the body of Robert explodes.
Something on the body of DB Robert.
DB, yeah, Robert, dead boy.
Dead boy Robert explodes. That is your truth.
In a distraction way.
In a beneficial
way.
way?
In a way. In a way.
Sarah, I'm afraid there are only 2 candles and there are only 2 truths. So I have the final truth.
Aw.
Sarah, you cannot feel them. You cannot feel Patrick.
No.
But you can feel Jillian.
Oh.
Feel her heartbeat
Yeah.
in the open air. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Getting faster now. Dun 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 dun.
And you can. Thank you for that, actually, Kevin. That was a good one.
No.
And you can feel the one growling near you.
Just you and me, Jillian. And Sarah turns on her light. The only one that hasn't been on. Because she never takes the lead. As she drags them to the water.
Sarah, roll for me 2 dice.
Come on, Sarah.
No! I have everything to burn and no ones. I don't want Patrick to win, this son of a bitch.
That fucking tool. I mean, O'Toole.
The world is dark. This night, this moment, it all started as you sat around your fire, 4 friends in a desperate situation. But you set out to find food, you set out to find firewood. There was a plan. And what happened to that plan as you find yourself stepping ankle deep, stepping knee deep into this bubbling brook of darkness, and you reach through your pockets and you tear through your things. You look for this headlamp and you cannot find it. You're right. It is just the two of you against the world, the two of you that are left. But is that going to be enough? As a candle is extinguished. This much is true. The world is dark. And in your final moments, what do you have, Sarah, but one truth to share?
This thing, this entity, this monstrosity, this creature, whatever it is, that liquid connected to her. In that moment, her deepest desire became its deepest desire. It wants to get out of these woods, and it is going to.
Patrick, I'm going to put this on you.
Okay.
Roll 1 dice for me.
Roll it,
Okay.
Patrick. Roll it.
Roll it. How dare
Roll
you,
it.
Patrick?
Do it. Bet.
I rolled a 5.
Would you like to roll your brink?
Sure.
You don't have to. It's if it wouldn't.
I want to keep playing though.
I see.
I think I know how to connect this, but it's not my favorite. You want me to share my brink first?
Go for it.
So my brink is that Patrick once accepted a considerable bribe to leave a good review at a restaurant to cover up a lethal case of food poisoning. So food poisoning is on his mind. And he's thinking of this as he is kind of ripping off some of the flesh that was on his face after a grenade or something like that exploded in the campfire. And he's thinking about this and about that meal that he kind of slipped to Sarah when she was nervous, biting her fingernails. He gave her a little bit of biscuit with mushroom in it.
Rude.
And so I would like to roll my brink of like kind of food poisoning background thing for 1d6.
Give it a roll. As you peel your flesh and your nose and your ears and your lips back, your body becoming a red gaunt shape of what it was before. Your ribs peeling back like spindly legs.
And he failed his roll.
He failed his roll. Jillian, Sarah, you clutch each other as the growls get closer and the world erupts in light. You lay back in the brook, looking skyward as a beam of pure light lances upwards, rising from the direction of that cabin, of that hut that you had seen. For a brief moment, you see a dome in the sky above you. A shell that you all have been held beneath. And it cracks and shatters as bits of it begin to fall down towards the earth. And that, my friends, is where our final candle goes out. And our lights
Jeremy,
are snuffed.
you old fucking piece of shit. What did you get us into? If you're out there watching us in the afterlife, I want you to know that we do not appreciate what you've made us do.
I should never have let you go. I should have stopped you. I should have stopped you. And then none of us would be here, would we? Fuck you.
I want to go home. It's dark. It's scary. I shouldn't be here.
You know, we probably shouldn't have gone with cassette tape. Like, that's just gonna degrade and... Oh, never mind. This was supposed to be affirming. We made it this far. I don't know how much further we will make it, but we made it this far. There's nothing to say that we can't keep going. So let's keep going.
Thank you for listening to our Dungeon Rogues production of 10 Candles. We hope you have enjoyed our strange journey. For more actual play content, check out some of our other works on YouTube and Spotify. More settings, modules, and maps for various TTRPGs can be found at patreon.com/Dungeon Rogues. Until next time, don't get caught in the dark with them.